Oh shit, chat. Oh shit. My favorite. Oh, yeah, well, you hear it now. It's fine. It's fine. Whatever. Welcome, everybody, to the Renegade Realm Podcast, episode 140. If there goes the audio popping off. 140. Oh, my God. It's been a while. It's been a while. I say it's been a while because every podcast that I do never feels the same because I don't have my good friend, my only friend, DeMarco Dude, back again. Thank you so much for coming back. Appreciate you.
Hello. Hi. How are you? Well, yeah, we have so many sound bites.
Yeah, demonetized. Got to talk over it. Okay, good. Oh man. Now,
anyway.
How you been? You know what? Sorry, hang on. We don't know how to do podcasts anymore. Before we get into it, just a quick shout out. Before the show went live, we had 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much to Last North, who gifted 5 channel memberships. Really, really appreciate that. Who also says that they're still in the hospital dealing with some stuff. So thoughts and prayers to you. Sincerely appreciate. Let's go to the hospital. Sincerely appreciate you for all the cheese and all the generosity, and hope you're on the mend. Really appreciate you. Shout out to King Fan Man. I don't know if you're still here. Tegan, Andrew Cullinane, Ion Storm. Sorry I missed you guys before the show. Life's been lifing. Mustafa, 78 Inc, Arrow Nation, Grandpa Barbecue Game Cat, Fuzzy Tomato, Fark you. What's up, man? And that's it. That's all. Shout out to the remaining channel members. Shout out to you guys. Sincerely appreciate all the support. Cold Eastwood, Hargeet Chani, Game Seeker, American Fury, Biff Rinaldi, DeMarco, it says you're a channel member, and Ronald Wolferts, Last North, and that's all the active members. Thank you all so much for the support. It's been amazing. And if you guys are new here and you're wondering what the fuck is going on and why am I saying bad words, it's because along with doing a coverage of Bethesda games and RPGs and whatever, there's also a weekly podcast. If I can do it. If I can. And that's what's happening right now. So if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for the support. Got over 100 subscribers just in the past week, which is insane. It means everything because YouTube is tough. So it's all about you guys because we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys anyway. We're not streaming to ourselves. But sincerely appreciate that. Stick around, hit the like button, say hello in chat if you're new. Would really appreciate you interacting with the community. Now, most importantly, DeMarco, please tell everyone where you've been. Well, I mean, you don't have to get into it, but how you been, what you've been playing, all the stuff, the usual stuff.
Rev up those fryers, because I am sure hungry for one help.
Love it.
Love it. All I know how to do, I don't know how to do podcasts anymore. I just know how to play.
I don't either.
What does this one do?
I like that.
Awesome.
Is that SpongeBob?
Love that. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit, not good.
Everyone's
Anyway,
like, unsubscribe.
I don't know how to do unsubscribe. I've been hooked on Crimson dude. I cannot put Crimson Desert down. I am lost in that world, and I've finally gotten to a point where I'm starting to find some cool armors and some cool stuff, and like I have a lot of abilities, so I'm comboing all over the place. Like I recently just started dual wielding with the sword because normally I'm just going in with sword and board. I'm like, pew, pew.
I was
stabby,
too,
stabby.
and I did the same dual wield thing. I eventually ended up there.
And now I have dual wields, and you're just flying around like a lunatic. And there's particle effects, and I'm playing on a 4080, so I have like everything maxed out. And that engine, like massive kudos to Pearl Abyss because that engine was specifically made for this game, and it shows because I have so much stuff going on, and the game is so beautiful to see. And there's particle effects, there's wind effects, there's physics on everything. There's so many cool little details. Like if you go in water, the only what hit the water actually has is wet. So if you have a long cape, if you have a long cloak on and you go, just up to to your thighs, only that part is wet and the rest is all dry. And even if you do a belly slam into the water, only the front is gonna be wet as well. Like it's all locational.
It's the level of detail that's so unnecessary, but every little eensy weensy tiny detail times like 200 and it's just like Red Dead 2 or even like The Witcher 3 or something. Like cool. So many little details. Yeah.
And I wish it had a better first person. I know you're in your third person camp and you're entitled to your opinion, but you're wrong.
I love the third person for walking around. I do it all the time.
I do too.
I do it all the time.
Yeah. I like walking around in first person because you just see like the scale of the world and you
yes.
It's so hard to fathom, and normally I'm not a huge fan of these gigantic open world games, but the combat is super fun. The mobility is super fun. Just being able to, it's literally just, you remember the old sticky hand toys you had when you were a kid? And they were like the little...
The Stretch Armstrong?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
And you just, you have that tool and you just lock that onto a wall and you somersault your way up a cliff and then you glide around for a bit, and that's before you even get the dragon mounts and stuff like that and the mech suit. And I think I found out the way to get the hot air balloon that I could soon travel around in. So
yeah, and you're about 40 hours in.
Satisfying. Oh God, I listen. I've been off of work yesterday and today, and that's all I've been doing.
So about 50 some hours, because last time you and I talked off air, you were like 32 or 33 hours, and I was like 35 hours. So I was like, oh, we're sort of on the same
49
pace.
and a half.
There you go. Nice.
49 and a half hours thrown into it, and I'm just absolutely hooked. I love it. I walk to everything, and if I'm on the horseback, I'm just like.
That's the thing, man, and everyone takes that kind of thing for granted. The slow, heavy movement, that like the thing that I'm obsessed with that. Like things with like Red Dead 2. Well, obviously Red Dead does it the best, and they've obviously made a really great combination of making this game feel immersive like Red Dead does, without it being a little too cumbersome, because it gives you a lot of different options. But yeah, it makes you want to just walk everywhere. You're like, this is how the game is meant to be played. Just walk, and like you come around a turn on a trail, and like the sun comes through the trees, and you're just like, like that's all that I do. The same thing. It's, and like the interaction,
cool.
It has like the same interactivity, I would say, as something like a Bethesda game, but with the immersion of a Red Dead. Like it's so special, man. It's. They definitely, and I would say they really took a risk with going that route, because they very much could have just stuck with a single player MMO, just full on action without worrying about any of the immersion details of the game, and just made it like cool actiony like the Black Desert fan base is used to. But they didn't. They're like, let's just put literally everything into this game. You made a great video. You made a bunch of great videos about Crimson Desert. It was the This Shouldn't Exist game. The video This Shouldn't Exist about Crimson Desert before the game came out. And it's true. It's like, not only should it not exist, but this kind of game shouldn't just work, and it shouldn't work for the majority of people, because that level of immersion feels very niche at this point in time. But yeah, that's awesome. And I don't know about you, but I've been trying to like fast track getting a barber so I can change my hairstyle and my hair color. And that's going to end up being like 80 hours, because it's just, the game is very clearly meant to last forever. It's an MMO. It's the MMO style.
But it's an MMO without all the crap. Like, there's still, don't get me wrong, there's a lot, like half of the quests that you do are, oh, can you go deliver a message, because I'm too busy, and you just see the guy standing at the stall 24 hours a day. It's like, I can't do it, I'm just a lowly shopkeeper. And you're like, okay, fine. And you run all, like, for some reason, the place they need to go is 2,000 miles across the world because there's no closer barber or blacksmiths. That's the only blacksmith they'll deal with to go get a piece of iron.
Right.
You could go mine 15 feet away. It's like, no, you need to go to that blacksmith. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
There's plenty of nonsense in it, but you don't mind because you look at it and you go, okay, well, it's so subconscious. Actually, that's the unique thing about it, is it's so subconscious. Is you say, okay, I'll go travel over there, but you just know that you're gonna find some interesting environment or interesting situation, or there's a bunch of camps that have been taken over by bandits. You're like, I'll liberate a couple of those to like clean up the map a bit, or oh, there's a cave over there I didn't explore, and there's some nonsense too where it doesn't tell you, like, a lot of loot is hidden behind. Anyone playing Crimson Desert, I'll give you this one. If there's a waterfall and a little cave symbol, you can go through the waterfall, but the only way you can get through it is by using this stab attack, this lunge. And on the controller, it's R1 and triangle. So on Xbox, I have both because I'm so console agnostic. I like, there you go. That's my.
I love it.
I got my keyboard, my Xbox, and my PlayStation controller. On Xbox, it'd be, what is this? R, B, and Y. I usually use the PlayStation controller. I like the haptics. And then you can pierce through the waterfall, and that's where I've been finding a ton of cool loot behind the waterfalls. But I kid you not, I spent maybe... I was spending like 20 minutes where I was just trying every single move to get through this waterfall. It's like, there has to be a way you could move fast enough. So I'm sitting there, I'm dashing, I'm trying to glide through it with the wings and like get air, and then I'm trying to like flip, double kick, drop kick, like I unlocked new abilities, and then all you need to do was
stab. Right. It's funny. I tried to go through a waterfall in Crimson Desert. It's one that's actually fairly close to the camp. And I was like, there's got to be something back here, and I couldn't get through it because the water kept pushing me down, like you mentioned. But I tried to like get the camera panned around to where I could try to see inside of it. And eventually, I just gave up. I'm like, I don't think there's actually anything back. But I didn't try your technique, so I will try that.
That's the way to do it. It doesn't. The game doesn't tell you that. I don't know how you're supposed to, but you have to stab through to get through them, and then there's tons of cool stuff. So,
is it all you've been playing?
Anyway, pretty much. Yeah.
Nice.
Because they weren't lying. It was a developer interview before the game release where they said, if you can sit down for an hour and feel like you did something, and it is the type of game that you can sit down and just wander around in, clear some loot or get some new items that you know you're going to need later and move it to your storage, and it's a good time. I've been enjoying it obsessively. So that's where I've been locked. If Elder Scrolls 6 sucks, I'll still have Crimson Desert. That's literally where my head's at. I'm not even kidding. And I know we'll be talking about Elder Scrolls 6 for the show, but I genuinely think it's that good. I think it lived up to the hype for me personally. I don't think it's for everybody, for sure.
Right.
But it's one of the games I never knew I needed in a style I didn't know I liked, presented in a way I didn't think would work.
And I was like really intimidated by it because I was, and I guess I'll just get into like what I've been playing, which kind of ties into how I've been struggling with trying to like chill lately. Whenever Crimson Desert came out, I had people like Colt and Holly and a bunch of other people saying, dude, this game is literally made for you. Specifically made for you, Red. It's slow. It's immersive. It's got all this stupid shit that people usually hate, but it just works. Like all the stuff that you mentioned. And I was like, I know if I get into this right now, the other thing that I'm playing, the other 14 things that I'm playing, I won't be able to get into. So I had a buffer period when the game was going to be shipped because I do everything physical as much as I can. And then I finally got into it, and now I'm still intimidated by it. I'm like, still going to hold on, because they're still adding things into the games that aren't even fixes. They're just full-on features. There's adding shit into the game just for free, and I'm like, the longer you wait, the better the game gets.
We realized you wanted some new mounts, so yeah, you could ride tigers and bears and cows now. It's like, oh, okay, like
sure, yeah, thanks. Like,
yeah,
you wanted birds to be your pet? We have 50 new bird pets now. It's like, okay. Like, I literally cannot keep up with it.
Think about this. They have done more updates that are, in my opinion, kind of considerable, like the changes that they've been making, than Fallout 76 does in like a period of 6 months.
I know. Well,
Fallout 76 has like an entire team. I know, obviously, the whole
yeah.
team is working on Crimson Desert pretty much, but Fallout 76 has a whole studio behind it at this point.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and they started off with like 4 people, and yeah, we'll get into Bethesda. But speaking of Bethesda, one of the things that I had to finally stop, and if anyone here loves Bethesda games and you love modding, you know this age old tale. I spent about 2 weeks straight every single night for about 4 hours or more, trying to get my load order straight. Exactly. Just trying to get my load order straight for Skyrim, because it's all that I wanted to do. Because I'm like, I want to wait, because all I want to do is play The Witcher. All I ever want to do is play The Witcher, and I'm like, if I get back into The Witcher, then I can't put it down again because I waited for so long. So I'm like, let me just mod Skyrim and just try to have an immersive experience, just to get it out of my system. And after 2 weeks of doing that, I put like 30 plus hours just trying to fix my load order. And I just got so burnt out. I was like, I'm just done. Like, I fixed one mod. Oh, swords on the back is fixed. And now my character like glides around with no, I'm like, I'm so done. So I didn't just stop. I deleted the game, deleted my save data, deleted everything. I'm like, cause that way I know I'm for sure done for a while, because I'm so frustrated. And you know what I did, DeMarco? I said, F it. And I just started up The Witcher 3 right off the bat. I said, F it. And now I have a save. I'm calling it my ultimate save. I beat The Witcher 3 technically 3 times. It's kind of a weird the way that I've done it. But anyway, I hadn't played The Witcher 3 in about 4 months because I put it down because Assassin's Creed Shadows came out. I'm like, let me just take like a 3-week break, which turned into months. And you know how whenever you return to a game, you're like, what was I doing? How did I get all this armor? What the quest? What the fuck was I doing?
Yep.
So I took the time. I was like, I'm not starting over again. This is my last, like, not my last, but like my ultimate playthrough that I really want to milk this playthrough for as many months as I possibly can. And so what I did is I took a bunch of screenshots, and I took a ton of screenshots of all my quests, my secondary quests, and I put it into Google, and I was like, where am I? I'm like, I don't even know if Google can do this. I put it into Google, and I was like, where am I in the game? And it like basically gave me like a summary of like where I am at in the main story. And I'm like, I get that. And I messed around with it for a few hours, and I finally got like this like comprehensive idea of where I've been and like all the side quests that I've done. It was really cool. And I feel good now. I'm like, you know what? I'm caught up. And I was like, let me just go ahead and beat the game. This is how long it's been since I've finished the main quest. I was like, let me go ahead and beat the game. I'm going to do the Battle of Kaer Morhen, because that's the last quest in the main storyline. Mm-hmm. It sure isn't. I completely forgot about all the stuff you have to do. So you do Battle of Kaer Morhen, and then there are like and it's wonderful. I love it. I was just completely forgot about how much content is in the game just in the main quest, because Battle of Kaer Morhen, it makes you feel for like 100 hours that is the main quest, because you're gathering everyone. So I say all that to say, I've been loving it. It's been incredible. I play with no HUD. It's just amazing. And I feel like all the news that came out with The Witcher, I've been trying to like play other games to scratch the Witcher itch, when honestly, I just need to play The Witcher. So that's what I've been doing. I also
can do it.
But that's the thing, though. If I can't play Crimson Desert at the same time, and they're so different. Like the combat in Crimson Desert is really, really great, but it doesn't feel kinetic in the way that a lot of melee focused games do. Like you're just sort of flying around the map at like lightning speed, just blasting through hundreds of enemies. Whereas The Witcher, or even something like Skyrim or whatever, is much more intimate. You're fighting one enemy at a time. Boom, boom, boom. But anyway, so I'm playing that. I'm also I booted up XCOM 2, brand new save. Because my last save I had, it's good. It's just War of the Chosen was really, really frustrating. Like I always send you that screenshot of 99%, or no, it's like 50% chance to hit, and you got the shotgun pressed right up against the alien's face, and it's like, oh the fuck. So anyway, I remember last time I played, I had about 48 hours in that save, and I got so frustrated. I was like, I'm just so done with this game, because it does a lot of frustrating things. So I just said F it. I tweaked the because Star Wars Zero Company is coming out, and I'm like, let me get this game out of my system.
Just looking that up, it's August 27th.
Yes. I'm so excited. So we got 2 months and 4 days or something.
Yep.
Anyway, so I've been playing that. And I've been really loving it. I tailored all the difficulty options down to where I think it's a good balance, and I'm just having fun with it.
Cool.
Chipping away at
cool
Lego
fact about
Batman.
Zero Company as well. Cool fact about it is the composer who worked on Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order is also doing the music for this one as well.
Really?
Which is pretty neat. Yes.
That's awesome.
So
That's awesome.
The music in those games was phenomenal. For those of you who haven't played it, it does. Obviously, nothing's gonna do the same level as freaking. Holy crap! No, not now.
Survivor?
Not while I'm back on podcast.
Jedi Survivor?
No.
Wait, say the sentence again. It's not going to do it as good as. It's not going to do.
John Williams.
Oh, the composer. Sorry, I'm
Yeah,
completely.
it's-
Okay, yeah.
Never gonna
Yes.
be as good as John Williams, but he did a phonamenal job, and I'm excited to see more from that composer.
Dude,
specifically.
our Star Wars fans are getting some good shit with video games, only video games. If you because all the live action, well, it's rough. But Zero Company looks amazing, and then Galactic Racer looks so good. A ton of gameplay came out for that today. Oh my god, dude. I'm not a big racing guy. I've said this 100 times. Not a big racing guy, but this looks amazing. You can walk around in third person, customize your character, your vehicles. It has these little. I don't know if you saw, but like in Star Wars Galactic Racer, whenever you start a race, you have to do like this little button prompt to like turn on your engines, boop, 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 beep, boop, boop, and, like hit buttons. Okay, your engine's turned on, then you gotta like turn on your thrusters and like hit like a button combination, boop. And if you do all that, it happens every single race. And if you do that, it gives you like a buff. And then it does the thing where it's counting down, and you gotta like rev up your engine, like hit the sweet spot, and it's like. They added all these little, like we were talking about Crimson Desert. They added all these little details that should feel like unnecessary, but it adds like a more immersion to the experience. Really excited for that. So anyway, it's been great. It's been a great time for video games. You know, it is
and the
what it is.
internet's not real.
And the internet is not real. That's another thing,
the
man.
internet's not real.
Dude,
I saw so
Yeah.
many I've been in my time where I haven't been making content. I've been just playing games for myself a lot more. You know, before I got hooked on which Crimson Desert just happened a little while ago, but I beat the Altars finally, and that is like a 10 out of 10 game for me. I love that game to death. I think it is so incredible, and especially at a time where I'm going through a lot of choices and changes in my life, that game just hit a really perfect spot for me from its storytelling. But even outside of that, it's an incredible game, and I would recommend everybody check it out. It's getting DLC later this year too, that was just announced. I've been doing some roguelites here and there, like I've really liked and I've talked about before, Risk of Rain 2. So I've been doing that, and then in the back end too, I've been playing the miniatures game, Star Wars Legion. Speaking of Star Wars, so
Okay.
that's like you have the little you have the armies and you paint all the miniatures, and then you go up against somebody else's. I've been learning how to play Star Wars Legion, and I personally really enjoy it. I need to find other people who enjoy it as much as I think I can. It's a stupidly expensive hobby because one miniature can cost like $30.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that it's still cheaper than playing Warhammer, so that's why I'm doing it. And it's a lot of fun just to have, like, I have the Empire starter set, so I march in Darth Vader and a bunch of stormtroopers, and they're just like coming down the battlefield as I'm playing the Imperial March, ding, 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 and Darth Vader's marching down the field, and we have like all this terrain that I set up because I have a bunch of it from when I played a lot more D&D, because I don't really play D&D anymore, which is very sad. But so I've been doing real life stuff, and it's just reminded me how, you know, all this stuff going on, we're not talking about today, but all this stuff going on with Xbox and you know, what console wars and all this nonsense online is just not real. I saw Paul Tassi got harassed because he quoted an article from Xbox, and people then Xbox made, I don't even know what happened exactly. Xbox made the correction, then he updated his tweet, but people were still freaking out at him, and it's like, guys, chill. Just relax. It's human error at worst.
Yeah.
And it's just a simple mistake at best. It's not a big deal, and everybody treats this like it's life or death. It's not.
Honestly, it's
not
because
real. Twitter's not real.
it's not real, man. It's funny.
People.
It's funny you say that exact phrase because I said that to Colt years ago because him and I were having we were talking about how, you know, and you know this, how you interact with people in the comment section, and like you're like, why would you say that to me? Like, why would you don't even know me, and what you just said to me was so awful, and like it's video games, and I've always said, like, these people aren't real. Like, genuinely, some of them genuinely are not real human beings, but it all sounds like it always comes from the same person, and there's never any nuance to any sort of discussion or disagreement. It's just complete hatred and just awful shit all the time. And for people who do report on things and make mistakes, it's like people are like calling for them to be fired, and it's just ridiculous. I used to open up Twitter. I mean, I still do. I open up Twitter every morning, and I shouldn't, but I do it because I'm like, wonder if something's broke today. You know how it is. I want to see something exciting. You want to open up Twitter and see something breaking, like, oh, that's exciting and cool, because that's where you're going to see it first before any content creator gets a hold of it like we would and regurgitate it and give our spin and our opinions on it. So that's where you want to go first. And every time I open up the effing Twitter or anything, it's just so depressing, and then I'll just sit here and scroll like as if I'm gonna find something good and positive. Exactly. I'm just not. So now whenever I open up Twitter,
Richard?
that's what I say every time. Anyway, so we appreciate you guys, sincerely appreciate everyone being here. Shout out to Arcane, who says, "Hey fellas, can't stay long. Have an appointment for one of my kiddos. How are you, DeMarco? Good to see you."
Good to see you, Arcane.
Yeah, and shout out to everyone here. I see Emperor Hound. I saw John who said, "What's up?" Thank you guys so much for being here. Please do hit the like button. If you want to change the subject, throw in your super chats or whatever, or throw it in chat, and we'll try to grab it as we go on. But we are going to talk about Bethesda because a lot of Bethesda stuff going on, and a lot of things changing internally. And I really wanted to talk just plainly about Bethesda as a whole and where they are versus where our perception of them was back in 2022, probably. Because, yes, exactly.
Buy Azura, buy Azura, buy Azura.
Anyway, Let's go. That's good time. All right, so let's do this. Bethesda time. But you got a soundbite for there we go. That's actually
For everyone.
that's actually really perfect. All right, so everyone hit the like button, share us out if you can. We're going to talk about Bethesda now. Okay, so I've done a lot of videos, especially my last two videos, because of the algorithm. Anytime that something comes up with Xbox now, I try to skew it in a way that's directed towards my audience. So my last video was more of a negative one because it was based on the potential of layoffs and how Microsoft is going to be heavily focusing on their tentpole titles like Fallout and Elder Scrolls, and how unfortunately, but the smaller studios are obviously going to not be looked at as, even if Bethesda isn't doing anything good, right? They know that there's a potential that they could really shatter the earth with whatever it could be, whether it's Elder Scrolls 6 or Fallout 5 or whatever. And so that's kind of what my last video was based around. And after doing all the research and scripting and all that stuff, I sort of had this idea in my head that based off of what Todd Howard has said over the past few months, it seems like the experimental phase of Bethesda is finally coming to an end. And what I mean by that is obviously Starfield and Fallout 76, because there was a time, obviously, back in the 2013s, 2014s, where Bethesda said we need something that's bringing in a steady form of revenue in a live service game. Let's make a Fallout game, multiplayer. So they did that. Really rough launch, just like every Bethesda game is. and now it's very successful and it has a really solid fan base. I don't know the concurrent player count, but it's healthy. I know a lot of people in
It's doing well still, yes.
It's doing really well. And love it or hate it, Starfield was a big success, especially for Xbox Game Pass numbers. Todd Howard was the one that said it's a Game Pass monster and whatever. But Starfield was obviously always the thing taking away the attention of what the majority of people wanted, which was obviously more Elder Scrolls. And even more Fallout, traditional Fallout, but we had a Fallout game that wasn't a Fallout game, and then we had a space game that wasn't Skyrim. You know what I mean? It was more of like a simi type game for Bethesda, and so it just didn't vibe with anyone. Or sorry, it didn't vibe with the majority of people like they wanted it to. So I say all that to say now, and I don't have the source, but. Because I have it all like in a script where I was like voice to texting notes that now finally Bethesda is in a place where they are fully focused on, the majority of the developers are focused on the Elder Scrolls 6, and this is right alongside the internal information that we got from people like Idle Sloth and Hazador and Synth Potato and whoever else you want to cite. That is saying that now Microsoft is wanting to focus on the big tentpole titles like Halo, Fallout, and Elder Scrolls 6. So I don't know. What is your immediate reaction to all that, DeMarco? Like,
Worry.
Is that a good thing just to say F it, focus it
Concern.
all?
Nothing may listen, I've been on the record in the past of saying I think Todd has a lot longer than people suspected. People were saying, oh, he's going to do Elder Scrolls and then he's going to be done. People are saying, oh, he's going to do Elder Scrolls and Fallout and then he's going to be done. I thought he'd go longer than... I thought he'd go to at least like Elder Scrolls 7, to be honest. I don't know if that's the case anymore. Because there's so much pressure coming from Xbox now, directly, that I don't think it's what anybody signed up for at Bethesda. And I don't think it's to the level that they were expecting. Now, if Starfield was a massive success, the story might be a little bit different. But if Asha's turning around and she's now saying, hey, we're only doing Elder Scrolls and Fallout, and anybody working on anything else is... which isn't official from her. That's like the whisperings that have been going around, and I believe them. Then obviously Starfield maybe have been great for Game Pass, but overall, especially when Asha's coming in and her concern is really revenue and growing the business that way. Dude, it's so... I don't know if anybody's ever said this really, because we are supposed to be hyper informed and we're supposed to be like really super involved and critical and we have to know all the stuff about what's going on. I heard it from Gopher Vids, actually. He was doing a stream for RV There Yet. He was playing with Che. And at the beginning of the stream, they were talking about Todd Howard. And at one point, he just goes, I don't really give a flying fig who Todd Howard is, but now I have to know who Todd Howard is. He's like, I don't care. He's like, I really don't. And that just hit me. I went, holy crap, he's right. Like, I don't care who I don't care who the CEO of Microsoft is. I don't care what their financials are, what their revenue goals are. Like, nobody should care.
Right.
And we're so hyper fixated, and there's so many people who are now financial analysts online that think they know what they're talking about. And they're like, well, Microsoft needs to make their money back because they can't do the competitive practices with exclusivity because and they're just going on about blah, 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 blah. Who gives a flying fig? And because I'm not really making content anymore, I can say this. And everybody in chat can
oh, here it comes.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But like, I don't give a crap what their financials are. I don't give a crap about exclusivity. I don't give a crap about Asha. Like, as a human being, I'm sure she's a great person. So I don't mean that as like a personal attack against her, and any rational human being will know what I'm saying. But in the context of things, I literally don't care. All I care about, am I getting good games? Is it fairly priced? Because now that's something I have to be worried about as a consumer. Like, oh, can I afford to get the games I want this year?
Yeah.
Are they fairly priced? Are they over monetized? And is the game itself good? And am I getting good games? and all the rest of the crap, whether it's exclusive or not. And people say, well, it needs to be. I'm getting off topic here.
No, go, please. And I'm following
like,
you.
But people will, too many arms, exactly, 78, you get it, exactly. But people will say, all this stuff is important and it all you're not going to get the good games unless Xbox does X, Y, and Z. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, I think there's too many people who are fans of these big studios and not enough people who are fans of the franchises, right? Like, I'm an Elder Scrolls fan. I wouldn't say, now I just happen to like Bethesda games, right? Because the titles that they produce are largely things that fall into the type of games that I like. But overall, like, I'm a fan of Dishonored. I'm a fan of Elder Scrolls. I'm a fan of Fallout. I wouldn't say I'm a Bethesda fan. Certainly not an Xbox fan. I don't think you can be an Xbox fan, right? Or you should. You can be, but I don't think you should be. But you can be a fan of Halo, and you could be a fan of Call of Duty, and you could be a fan of all this other stuff that Microsoft and Xbox happens to own.
Right.
But I think there's a lot of toxicity that stems from, like, this loyalty to these corporations and these companies, and then people will turn around and go, oh, Microsoft just put exclusives, so they don't really care about us PlayStation gamers. It's like, well, they never cared to begin with.
They don't care about you. Right.
And then it goes the other way too. It's like, an Xbox will be like, oh, Microsoft raised the price of Game Pass and I don't like it anymore. It's like, they don't care. They don't care about you. They never did. Get over yourself. Toast a marshmallow and get on with your life. So,
exactly. Yeah. And no, my
point.
Sorry, go ahead.
Of all of this, and then I'll be done for a little bit. But my point of saying all of this, really, to tie it back to Bethesda and Elder Scrolls, is there's so much of this corporatization going on, and it's bled into the audiences themselves. And now the audience is so concerned about the corporate side of things that it's taken away the attention from the thing that actually matters, which is the games. And now that we have all sides sort of infested, really like Parasite style. You've seen the movie Parasite?
Yes, love that movie.
Like Parasite style, infested with this corporate necessitation of their overall well-being and health, that it worries me for what the product of Elder Scrolls is going to be, because it's gotten to a point where games have and always will be products, but it shouldn't feel like that, because they are a form of entertainment. Like, I don't go to the movies and go, oh man, I hope A24 is going to make a 300 million return on this thing, because otherwise I'm not going to get my exclusive A24 movies.
Right.
Like, I don't think about that when I go for entertainment products, and it's become such a focal point for games that it stops being fun. And it leads to a lot of mass-produced, overly sanitized, very safe, and corporate feeling. I describe it like, it's like Central Park, the Central Park of games. Like, Central Park in New York City, it's walk along the path, don't go on the grass, here's the lines, like, stick within thing. And we got, like... And games can start to feel that way when they need to be as safe as they have to be, because everybody... And Microsoft needs to be, rightfully so, but everybody now is so fixated on this profitability and these health margins and stuff. So it's gotten messy. But
really good
I'm worried
point
for Elder Scrolls.
Well, so I guess what I'll say to your point, because you know me, I'm not a console warrior guy. What is it?
I said there were like 50 points in there. That was my ramble.
It's
all been bottling up, and now I have.
I know.
People listening to me that are they're forced to be.
Unleash it all. And I saw a BT Maverick sent Unk Alert for 440 joules. I have no idea what that is. Thank you. I don't know what that's a new thing YouTube is doing. So. Great. See, a constant gamer. If Microsoft was more safe, they wouldn't be getting rid of 4 studios. BT Mavic sent Flow State for I don't know what that. Thank you, BT. I don't know what those do, But thank you. He said, I have no idea. He says,
Oh yeah, it's
anyway.
this dumbest. So YouTube did this really stupid thing where it's like Twitch bits, but it doesn't work that way. You have to like pay YouTube to get stickers or something.
Okay.
That then with that artificial currency, I could then send you things. But I don't think you get any money if I send those things to you. Like,
Okay.
it just goes straight to Google, and then I get YouTube currency. I get some YouTube didgeridoos to then spend to people, but I don't think you actually get the didgeridoos.
Okay. Well,
It just
if
all
they're
goes straight
spending
to
money,
Google.
that's what matters to me, and I appreciate you for spending 200 joules on 200 joules, or whatever it is, $2, whatever it is. Either way, thank you. But before I lose my train of thought, because ADD, what I will say is, for me personally, I am not championing PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, Steam, or anything. What the unfortunate reality is that all these companies, we are because you say I'm much more of an Elder Scrolls fan, I'm much more of a Fallout fan, I'm much more of a Bethesda Game Studios fan, I'm much more of a, let's say, I love Crimson Desert, right? I'm a fan of Pearl Abyss because of what they did with Crimson Desert. Now, if Crimson Desert was under Microsoft Studios, if anyone could point to success or time given to a studio to allow them to develop a game with the quality that they were afforded, I would then say good on Microsoft for doing whatever the hell that they did to afford them the quality. So whenever it comes to exclusivity and Elder Scrolls 6 specifically, I would say, here's what I will say. I hope that if Bethesda is going down this route of exclusivity and they want their exclusives to, which means PC and Xbox or whatever, and even if it's not, even if they say our tentpole titles under Xbox Studios need to be quality, I would hope that they would that them pushing Bethesda to say focus on Elder Scrolls 6 and it has to be awesome. And we're going to give you more funding, we're going to give you more developers, we're going to give you all the help that we need to make sure that those games are good. I would say that, and now there's not a lot of them, but I would say some fans would say, yeah, go Xbox, help Bethesda, help my studio that I love, help my franchise that I love. Now, do I like exclusivity? No. Am I happy to see a platform thrive because of exclusives? Sure, I'm happy to see that, and I'll say, good for you if because DeMarco, you and I hate it, but you and I don't want to get into this conversation about exclusivity because we can go on and on. But my opinion is that if Elder Scrolls 6 is exclusive, let's just say, I would hope that it's the best I would hope that it's the best Elder Scrolls that we've ever gotten, that it's better than Skyrim, that it does all the things that people didn't like about Starfield. It just did away with that, even though I still feel it's a silly comparison. But but it's all because Microsoft said, let's hunker down and focus on the things that people really want. That's whenever I would champion Xbox and say, go Xbox, do the good thing for the very specific studio that I love. But if it were up to me, I would say give it to everyone. But unfortunately, that's just not how the industry works. Xbox is going to die if it doesn't have any brand value whatsoever. And right now in the gaming space, over the past 10 years, exclusivity is the thing that drives hardware sales. It sucks and I hate it. But there was another point that you made that I wanted to say with Elder Scrolls specifically, with Fallout specifically. Also, we're not going to get a Fallout game for a very long time because whenever the Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, hopefully in 2028, I would say 2027, November 11/11/27 next year. That's what everyone keeps saying because it rhymes and it sounds cool. I would hope that the people that are championing Xbox would also you know what? What are your thoughts on everything I just said? Because I'm getting too far into the Xbox conversation of this. What is your and also? Yeah, go ahead, because I'm also hearing my dog bark in the background. It's distracting me. Yeah.
When it comes to Elder Scrolls, a lot of people, one of the things I will say is that people have genuinely lost faith in Todd Howard and the rest of the team, and there's a lot that have been going on that we've talked ad nauseum in the past, right? It's the studio getting too large, the corporatization. It's a little bit of some of the talent leaving. It's a little bit of the biggest issue, which is just like the company getting too big, which bigger doesn't mean better. And we've seen that. Like, as Bethesda Game Studios has gotten larger, the games have not increased in quality. That's not how it works. As the budgets have gotten bigger, the games have not increased in quality for a lot of people. So when Microsoft turns around and says, hey, we're just going to put everything into Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout, it does make me wonder what direction that's going to take these franchises. Because I would argue something like Creations is devastating for Elder Scrolls. It's really cool to see, right? King Gath just released another creation. I don't know the name of it, but King Gath just released another one. It comes with these giant mega dungeons that you can explore through with new gear that has unique effects that aren't in the base game, and the dungeons feel all very vanilla plus in the sense that they're built into the world organically. The story is really good. It's crazy dialogue heavy, so if you feel like Elder Scrolls Skyrim was maybe a bit too actiony and not enough dialogue, that mod has tons of it. So creations on the one hand are very cool, but on the other, it is also exactly part of the reason why these games are taking so long. It's, you know, look at Grand Theft Auto 6, right? They didn't need to create another Grand Theft Auto because 5 is still printing money like nobody's business. 6 is going to do the same thing, but 5 is still doing fine. So I've always been a bigger supporter of what I would hope for the future of Elder Scrolls and Fallout is that they go a direction that they sort of had with Fallout New Vegas, and that's to say they're going to have another studio that is building a different game using the same assets more or less, right? Like Fallout New Vegas did. So do an Elder Scrolls 6.5, do a Fallout 5.5, and have that spin off, and have a separate studio work on that, because that to me would be a very safe way. And it's historically it's worked well in the past. And the example that comes to mind outside of Fallout New Vegas is Arkham Origins, which also is really good. A separate studio, WB Montreal, worked on that to help bridge the gap between Arkham City and Arkham Knight. The gap was still massive, but it doesn't need to be Obsidian either, right? I know everybody's going to go to Obsidian and say they have to make the next because they did Fallout New Vegas, but I don't think they necessarily need to be the ones to do it. Have those 2.5 entries. That way, you're still getting a regular flow of these two really popular franchises, but simultaneously I think it's a good way to protect it from being, hey, you will be playing Elder Scrolls 6 for the next 10-12 years because we're just going to keep releasing creations and you guys are just going to keep buying them. We're going to keep making money off that IP, and we never need to release another Elder Scrolls game because you guys are still buying it and rebuying it and buy it again and buy more. Please keep buying it. Buy it again. We're re-releasing Skyrim again. Buy it. Come on, keep buying. Right? So, that would be a healthy way to do it. Because my big fear is really that Microsoft is going to come in and say, make another Elder Scrolls, make another Elder Scrolls, make another Elder Scrolls, make another Elder Scrolls, and it's going to be very focus group safe, and very sanitized, very clean. And
oh my God, are you talking about? Okay, well, hang. I know what you're talking about, but let's just be safe with this. I remember whenever we all saw the reveal of Oblivion Remastered. And it was me, you, and Jonas. Shout out to executive producer Jonas, who is here in chat, I think. We were all like, it's kind of like whimsical, like, woo, and like you would like pick up a mushroom and it's like, and it like did this weird animation, and like a lot of the world in general sort of mirrored a lot of the aesthetic that you kind of get from Elder Scrolls Online, where it went from the grittiness a little bit of Elder Scrolls in general to this. Like you said, like very bright high fantasy look than more of a. I'm not to say that Elder Scrolls has ever been dark fantasy, but it's been, I would say, just fantasy.
It's been more alien.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It really has. It's very much like, Yeah, it really is alien, isn't it? It's not because like you would whenever you think like fantasy, you think like medieval fantasy, like Lord of the Rings, where the elves are they're elves, but they're human elves. Where it's like Elder Scrolls elves are like they're really elves, and they're like really super elves. Is that what you mean? Like you're worried, like you're worried. A super elf, that would be the high elf, right? This is my final form.
No,
So
it's the super elf.
is that what you mean? Because there's something about Starfield where Starfield a lot of the times feels very man. It's one of the reasons that now recently because I have been playing a little bit of Starfield recently because I've been such in a weird place mentally lately, and I'm jumping around things trying to make me happy. I stopped using the vanilla music. Yeah.
Call of Duty, Zombies, Black Ops.
I would love that. In 2 days?
The Steam sales in the 25th.
Okay. Well, we're gonna do it. Because I miss the old maps. We talk about this. Everyone on chat's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, we will do that.
I have been
promise.
everyone in chat. I have just for like 2 months now. I have just had this massive, insatiable hunger
Like a zombie,
to
you might
play
say.
classic Black Ops Zombies. I don't want any of that nonsense in Black Ops 5 or Black Ops. None of that. Nothing. Just classic. Old school, not World at War old school, but when they really started hitting their stride, which was Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, that's when it was peak. And those games are still full price for God knows what reason. So they go on sale, Steam Summer Sale, and that'll be my time to pick it up. Anyway.
It'll be a whole thing. I completely forgot what I was saying. See, PL44V6Z. Show me a sign of life that you're real. If they do spin-offs on Creation Engine with same assets, modders won't be able to focus on a single game, so all the games will lack modding diversity. It would be better for spin-offs to be different.
Yeah, not literally the same assets. Don't take that literally. But what I mean is it's using the same engine architecture. So Bethesda, every game has changed their engine in some ways, typically small ways. We saw engine upgrade where they're like, now it's the Creation Engine 2 with Starfield, and it's going to be like the Creation Engine 3 or something with Elder Scrolls 6, I believe. But
3, yeah.
Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 were both with the same architecture, so they used unique assets. It wasn't all, I mean, some of them they repurposed, of course, but they made new ones to fit what they needed. So it's not literally exactly one-to-one copy over, but it's just the same architecture, so that way not everything needs to be built from scratch to make the game.
I remember what I was going to say about the sanitization. I turned off the music for Starfield because I took about like a month or so and I curated this like new soundtrack for Starfield that I thought it was incredible, and it made everything feel darker and more ambient and just not so da 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 like so adventurous and woohoo. And it changed the tone of the game completely. But what I realized during the time using that soundtrack that I built for Starfield, a lot of the dialogue hit a lot differently because the music tone was a lot different. And there's so much dark immaturity in Starfield that does get overshadowed by a lot of like the lightheartedness. Like, hey, want to join Vanguard and kill a bunch of people? And you're like, that doesn't add up. That does not mesh well together at all. So if that's what you're talking about, I really hope that they do dip straight into like the more lived in, I'm not going to explain the world to you. Like, hey, traveler, welcome to Riverwood. Like in the Elder Scrolls 6. Like, I really hope that it is more just like learn as you play, because you're going to be playing the Elder Scrolls 6 for 10 plus years if it's good, right? And hopefully that the maturity, I guess, stays with the fans as they have grown up since 2011. I had so many comments. I had so many comments of people saying things like, let me see. Let me pull up a couple. Let me see here. I played Skyrim. This guy says I played Skyrim for the first. This is Brah 9870 says, I played Skyrim for the first time before even finishing puberty. I'm almost 28. I have 2 sons. Come on, man. That's what he says. There were so many of that. You had a great comment. You said I expect that there's going to be a written apology from Todd Howard about the delay of Elder Scrolls 6, and I joked and I said it'll be included in the super ultra deluxe limited edition early access version of Elder Scrolls.
A signed letter from Todd Howard saying, "I'm sorry it took so long."
Sorry, I bet you he will, dude. I bet you when Todd Howard's gonna come out on stage with his leather jacket, he's gonna say, I'm sorry it took so long. And everyone's going to lose their mind because they knew exactly. We've been waiting for this apology.
The wait has been worth it.
Has been worth it.
We now have a brand new engine powering the Elder Scrolls 6. And with that, you can't just see 100 trees, but 1,000 trees.
1,000? I knew you were going to say that. Not just 100 trees, but 1,000. And on those trees,
all rendering at the same time with volumetric lighting.
Yeah.
All this is happening in real time.
In real time, you
watch the sun revolve around the planet.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's so true. It's so true. So okay, you said that you said something. You were saying you're worried about the Elder Scrolls 6 under Microsoft, and I don't know if that's what you meant, or maybe I'm putting words in your mouth. You were just saying you're worried about Elder Scrolls 6 in general.
I'm worried about the future of it, and I'm worried about it because it's going to feel a lot like, again, it ties back to what I said before, which is that games shouldn't feel like, I don't want games to feel like a product, and part of that is, yes, I'm getting older, so I have more awareness to those things. A lot of times people mistake some of my optimism, or they mistake some of my, I hate to say it this way, but lack of doomerism. What a lot of people see as logical, they equate to me as being naive. So, to give you an example of that, I'll turn around and I'll say, well, hey, just the exclusives is the easiest one. Like, I don't think we need exclusives because of XYZ reasons. And people go, well, no, you need that to have, blah, 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 and you're just being stupid, and you're so naive, and like, blah, blah, blah. Like, I got into it on Twitter with somebody, it was a discussion, but with someone on Twitter recently. It's not that I'm ignorant to these things, but since when am I optimistic? Thanks, Fuzzy. It's not that I'm ignorant to these things, but what I am worried about when it comes to Elder Scrolls is really that it's just going to feel more and more like a product, in the sense of, hey, like, buy this thing here and get this edition, and here's these exclusive things for this thing, and like, oh, and also we have this, like, blah, 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 and, oh, by the way, we also have an Elder Scrolls TV show that's now coming out that we weren't ever gonna do, but now we're doing it, and, by the way, like, did you see this spin-off Elder Scrolls? Like, and you could also get Elder Scrolls Online. It's this
on your phone. Yeah.
It's the same thing with, like, Fallout. Like, it's really cool that some of this, especially for Fallout fans, it's really cool that some of this stuff happens, but there was Fallout this and Fallout that and Fallout event at Orlando Studios, and like there was a hockey team that had Fallout colors, and they had the Fallout TV show, and there's real world. I have it on my shelf right there. You could get the real world Sarsaparilla and Nuka-Cola Quantum, and look at all this, and we're selling you the $150 not remaster of New Vegas that you can get. It's a collector's bundle that of the 15-year-old game, right? And it's just like, and it goes, and people buy it up. Some people love it. They're massive fans of the franchise, and more power to them. But someone like me, and I would say I'm a huge Elder Scrolls fan, but I see that and I kind of go, I don't want to buy it anymore.
Yeah, ew. It's not special.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Right. It's like, because if it's for everyone, it's not for anyone, right? Or whatever, however the saying goes. DeMarco says, Jonas says the clash in tone of Starfield may be issue caused by growing pains and poor management. Right, yeah, 100%. It's like too many cooks in the kitchen. You can't have one cohesive. Yeah, I get you there. Yeah. Oh yeah, the non-canvas canvas bag. Remember that? Oh my God, I'll never forget about that.
Yeah, and some people still, they're like, I didn't think it was a big deal. It's like, no, it kind of was, because you were paying for something you didn't get. Like.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was really bad quality. It was like paper thin, like what's it called? Nylon. That's what it was. Yes, it wasn't even like
bag,
yeah. It was terrible.
The great canvas shortage of 2019.
Yeah. See, J-Man Games says Todd Howard, the Breton mage, is asked to help write a spell, but it has been taking him 16 years and he needs your help. That's the apology quest. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's a great way to put it. No, I know what you mean. You're talking about like Elder Scrolls becoming more mainstream, and not that it's weird, right? Because like the Elder Scrolls, if I were to say when I think about mainstream games, I think about GTA, I think about Call of Duty, I think about NBA 2K, I think about like the casual gamer video games, and even though Red Dead Redemption 2, for example, it was a massive success, I would say that brand recognition is what sold that game to the casual audience, because they knew about the fun Red Dead Redemption 1 that was. And like we talked about with Crimson Desert, there's a lot of things that Red Dead Redemption 2 did that a lot of people didn't like the immersive aspects. And like even ACG talks about how he hates how slow Arthur Morgan is. I love it. Like that is immersion. But it's because you were sort of grandfathered in because of the brand, right? So that can also be a double-edged sword with fans like you and I who know what made the brand special. And now that it's for everyone, we're like, yeah, we're going to be there and we're going to buy it. And then we get into it and we're like, oh, it's like safe and like not so grounded in the lore and what is it?
And it just feels like I've played it before. It just feels plain. It feels safe. It feels uninspired, if you will.
Right. It's kind of
like
Avowed. That's kind of how I felt about Avowed. I didn't play enough of. I played Avowed for like 2 hours, but whenever I look at Avowed, I'm like, I'm sure I need to play Avowed. I do need to play it, but like just looking at it, I was like, it looks like I played that. Like, it's exactly like you said, like the whole aesthetic and the vibe. I'm like, I know that I'm going to play this game and I'm not going to remember anything about it. I'm not going to remember the characters. I'm not going to remember the story. It's not going to make me come back to it. And not to say that every game needs to have replayability, but like even like the 007 game, I put 30 hours into it. I beat it. I don't think I'm ever going to go back to it. And I went into the 007 game thinking, oh, this is going to be like Hitman. Like I'm going to keep going back to it and engaging with it. But it did end up being very safe and very, it was just part. Yeah, exactly. It was just par for the course.
That's the word for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Just completely sanitized. Yeah.
And think about The Witcher, like the stuff that works about The Witcher when you follow The Witcher works because it has the dark fantasy, which as older gamers I think appeals to us more than like the bright, happy, right? Just broadly speaking. So that works, but it also just has like it has the advantage of a direct protagonist with Geralt, so it's very memorable in that sense, and it's very character driven, so that is very involved with the characters. Mass Effect, you have like this really cool, and I would say just I don't think Commander Shepard himself is like obviously the most interesting because he's meant to be a bit of a blank slate for you to
yes, he's upon. A vehicle. Yes, yes,
he's a vehicle for you, but it also has the characters. But then you also have this giant galactic level threat that's coming in, and you're stopping the Reapers, and you're getting the team together. So it's super cool in that sense. And it has Shepard, even though he's a vehicle, he has his standout moments. Like you have some of the weirdness with whether it's just his interactions, like punching the reporter, right? That everybody, or just some of his one-liners. I should go. So you do have some interesting things like that. Skyrim has a bit of that too, like some of just the I should go. There's something
fascinating story. Any chance you're nearing the end?
Geralt has amazing one-liners.
He does. I just had to get him out of the way.
You need to have something that stands out, and Elder Scrolls, I think its advantage in the space has always, in my opinion, has been that it tackled the open world formula with the sim elements, and it also had the backing of the RPG stuff because it was very heavily based on Dungeons and Dragons. Guess what? It stripped away a lot of the RPG stuff, so it doesn't really have that going forward anymore. So you say, okay, what's left? Well, you still got the cool world, right? No, the world has become very natural. It's become believable. It's something that could exist tangential to our own world in a way. So you go, okay, so it kind of lost the originality of the world that a lot of people loved about Morrowind. So you go, that's stripped away. So you say, okay, what else does it have? Well, it has the choice and consequence. Well, not really. Like, they've kind of toned that down quite a bit. And they tried to bring it back with Starfield. I will say I never got far enough in Starfield to see the full effect and ramifications of the choice and consequence, but I know that they tried to, at least in their marketing, put a big effort back into it.
Yeah, it is a step in the right direction. I will, to be completely honest, yeah, it's a step in the right direction. As much as I love Starfield, I'm not going to say, DeMarco, it's amazing. It's just, for a Bethesda game, it is a step in the right direction. They need to continue pushing what they did with Starfield with choice and consequence, for sure. Yeah.
So you need to, and now Fable is coming in. Like, a lot of the things that we loved about Elder Scrolls, Fable is stepping in and doing. Buy every business, like, you couldn't do that in Elder Scrolls, but buy every business. All the NPCs have schedules, like, everything's handcrafted, right? So all of that's capturing a lot of what people have missed about Elder Scrolls. So now, and other games have done it too. Crimson Desert has incredible open worlds, right? So people have talked ad nauseum in the past about how Bethesda is sort of fallen behind in a lot of ways. So we need to look at it and go, okay, what's going to be that unique standout factor? Because if you don't really have the really cool alien world, and for anybody who doesn't know what Elder Scrolls could be, you have to look at the stuff Michael Kirkbride did, because that's when it was like,
yes,
very weird. Like, Elder Scrolls was weird, and I don't have any specific examples because even I'm not
well
versed in it.
It's kind of
I
like
know it was a lot more sexual.
It was a lot more sexual, and it was a lot of like gods were nebulas, and the nebulas had their own relationships and drama and literal nebulas. Like, those were the gods, like, up in the sky. And then, like, you had like like not arterial. Well, I can't think of a good example, but it is like a lot of like space, and the gods are stars, and the stars are, which is why, like, in Skyrim they lean into like look up at the stars whenever you go into your skill menu and you see all the. But it gets weird. It's not like straight to the point. It's like very deep and weird. He was high as shit whenever he wrote that.
Yep.
like he was. So... Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
So anyway, we need to find, like, they need to find out what that is, and whether or not, like, again, it does really go back to, because part of the problem is, you know, Elder Scrolls used to make this much money, but then it had to make this much money. But it actually, like, Skyrim came out and it made this much money. Now it can't go back to it can't ever go back to making this much money. So how are they going to make this much money now?
Yeah.
And, well, that's the question that remains as to how they're going to try to go about doing that. The obvious answer is just make a good Elder Scrolls game that appeals to Elder Scrolls fans. But as we know, that's not usually the logic that big companies like to take, because it can't be that simple, right?
Yeah. Well,
really
and that also goes back into the logic of exclusivity. Like, imagine Rockstar coming out and saying, we're going to make a deal. It's so dumb. Like, that's the most extreme level of, like, this is why exclusivity is dumb. Where if Rockstar came out and says, we were offered $1 billion by PlayStation, and now GTA 6 is exclusive to PlayStation. Like, sure, that would sell consoles, and like, but then PlayStation is known for the GTA box. How healthy is Elder Scrolls going to be moving forward if they do decide to go with exclusivity? Because that is another big topic with Elder Scrolls 6. Because it will come out on PC. It has to. It will. Anything under Microsoft is always going to come going to release on PC. And obviously, it's way more important for Bethesda because of the modding community and the creation kit and everything that's given to people. So speaking of making money, like, how much money is that really going to make the studio? Sure, it'll make profit for Xbox if they're moving consoles, because in my mind, there's only 2 games in the world that can move consoles, and that to me is GTA and Elder Scrolls 6. I mean, that is just because or like Half-Life, which we'll talk about the Steam machine. But just games that have so much hype around them that it's almost impossible to meet, unless you have billions of dollars like Take-Two. But it's a whole other discussion. But yeah, we've talked to death about Bethesda. I've said this so many times in comments to people in my videos where everyone says like, I hate what they did with Starfield, and what they did with Starfield makes me worried about what's happening, what's going to come from Elder Scrolls. And I've always said that everything that was ever shown for Starfield, everything, marketing, trailers, developer directs, like whatever, everything that was ever shown for Starfield is the only thing that I was ever excited for, and it's in the game, and that's it. So I would hope that whatever is shown for Elder Scrolls 6, if it's at least like Skyrim and everything that's in the game is shown in trailers, and we don't have the Cyberpunk effect where Cyberpunk came out and I had friends going, I'm going to be a detective like Blade Runner. I'm going to wear a trench coat and I'm going to be like super, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do, and they just made up all this stuff in their head about what the game was going to be. And it was never going to be that, dude. It was, even though they had this weird vertical slice, it did not give a good impression for the, as far as role playing goes for Cyberpunk specifically. It was very much like you said, like your V, that's your character, that's your vehicle into the universe. But it wasn't, people really got into their heads about what it was going to be. And Jonas says the issue with BGS on a technical level is that they stopped releasing a new sequel every 3 to 5 years. That also means they stopped innovating at the same rate and now had to catch up to other games. Yeah, it's true. And like, we see this all the time, right, DeMarco, where people say in our comments on our videos, they say they're so old and everything's janky. And it's just like, I'd rather play Crimson Desert. It's like, dude, even in 25 years from now, I don't ever see Bethesda doing combat like Crimson Desert, right? Or a Fallout game that has shooting like we're talking about Red Dead 2. It's never going to happen. And that's okay. That's not what makes those games what they are. It's about player agency. They are sim-focused RPGs. That is what they are. And they've never been about choice and consequence, like you said, DeMarco. They've never been great about choice and consequence, but they've always been about like the living world, and you just want to be in the world, and you just want to be character A or character B or character C, and you iterate on that as time goes on. You return to these worlds. So that argument is always more lost on me because I'm a long-term Bethesda fan. But if I were somebody jumping into video games and comparing every fantasy game to each other, and comparing every sci-fi game to each other, and every post-apocalyptic game to each other, I'd be in trouble, because none of them are the same. None of them are alike. They're all so vastly different, and just get out of that headspace, people. Come on.
I'm sorry, Dead Space is exactly the same as Mass Effect, and you don't know what you're talking about.
You're right. It's the same as Resident Evil, right? It's just Resident Evil in space. So everyone, I've seen that so much. Yeah, exactly. Just surface level shit. Sorry, Jonas, he corrects me. He says, that's not what I'm talking about. It's not the things that they use to iterate on. Others have iterated on further. The things they thought they had to discard can you help me?
He's saying that, like, Bethesda hasn't improved on things better than other things. So, like, you look at Fable, and they have that whole living world and all the NPCs have schedules, and they said, okay, well, we don't need to do that for Starfield, right? They kind of took that out. And that was something that was big for Elder Scrolls, that helped make the world feel really alive, but they kind of got rid of that. Meanwhile, the things that they were doing well, whether it was, I would say, like the character progression, if they leaned more with Fallout 4, they focused on some of the shooting to try to make that better, but they never got the shooting where it could be to compete with other games that were first-person shooters and stuff like that. So they're just degrading in the areas that are important and not improving on the things that they really did well beyond what other studios are already doing.
Gotcha.
So,
thank you for explaining, going to the 5th grade level that I can understand. I appreciate it. And look, he goes, too long didn't read. Bethesda is lagging behind because things. Thank you. Thank you. Colt says the dynamic duo is back. Yes, we're back.
That's gonna be that's actually gonna be an animated DC movie called The Dynamic Duo, and it's gonna be Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, I think, together, and then they go off and do something. Yeah.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
So, I think.
Do you know Dean Cain, who played Superman back in the 90s? He was on a podcast recently. They were talking about diversity and talking about, because Millie Alcock, sorry, who is playing Supergirl. You know what? We're not going to get into this. It's going to be all of this. Basically, he was talking about how a lot of, like, he's a straight man, and a lot of people who are not straight were coming at him saying, "You're such a great representation for not straight people." And he was like, "All right, and good. All right, let's move on. All right, let's go." That's literally his reaction was like, "Okay, I don't know why that has anything to do with the character, but anyway." But he was saying that Nightwing was apparently a lot of that community loved Nightwing because they thought he was but he's not. Anyway, all right, so thank you, Colt. I just got done with Super Secret Embargo stream for an upcoming DLC. What could that be? Ooh.
Oh, the Witcher DLC?
Oh God, that's not coming out. That's another thing, man. The Witcher DLC isn't coming out for like another 9 months or something, right? Because it's dropping in spring of next year. So yeah, wait, no, spring is, it's a long time.
The only DLCs I know are releasing. I mentioned the one for the altars and also the Witcher DLC. Those are the only 2 DLCs I know.
Mm-hmm. I have no idea. But that's awesome, man. I have no idea.
Outer Worlds 2? Is that getting DLC?
I would love to play Outer Worlds. I've been playing Outer Worlds 1 a little bit here and there. I'm like 30 some hours into it, and I'm not even like I'm on Supernova mode, which is the survival mode, and it's incredible. And I just refuse to buy 2 until they come out with a mode, because that's why I love that game. It's so good. It's like New Vegas.
That's the one where your companions can die, right? Permanently?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that was the only thing I didn't like, because the AI for your companions is not very smart, and they will just run in.
Yep.
And
exactly.
Then be like, "Ah!" And you're like, "Well, you're dead forever now. Great. That's cool."
Yeah.
I should have just kept you on the ship.
What I do is I'll give them a rifle and I just point them. I turn around and go over there, boop, and then I have them just stay back and just shoot. Because if we're in a high level area, they just run straight in there and just die, and then I have to load back and lose 20 minutes. It's great. Anyway, we're going off topic. It's great. I do want to hear your thoughts about. Let's talk about this. Shout out to everyone here. Over 20 people here hanging out with us. Appreciate it. Means a lot. It means a lot. Oh wait, real quick. Ion Storm, who's been cranking away on YouTube. Go check out his channel. Everyone in chat, he's in chat. He's been putting out YouTube videos. He's just really consistent, and he really deserves a lot more love. He put out a video about Dawn Walker. We don't have to hang on this for too long, but speaking of The Witcher, I am more excited about Dawn Walker than I am for The Witcher 4, which that's a whole other discussion. And I know a lot of people, I know some people in our group chat were saying, I don't know about the timed thing in Dawn Walker. It's not timed. It's not for anyone because they keep advertising the game as you have 30 days to save your family. And everyone's like, I don't know if that's for me. I'm like, guys, stop saying that, because you're confusing people. It's not how it's not how the game works. Blood of the Dawn Walker is just like any other big RPG open world. The main story moves forward whenever you complete a main story quest. So in this aspect, in this situation, they've changed it to where it's the same exact idea as time moves forward whenever you do a main quest, but it is counting down the time. It's not like I need to hurry up and run around and do the thing that I need to do.
It's
exactly.
It's like a currency.
It's 100%
to go on a mission.
Exactly. It's a great way to put it. Yeah. And I know a lot of people I don't like the combat. And I'm looking at the combat. I'm like, it looks so good, man. Every time I see the combat, it looks better and better. And it's for people who love For Honor or Kingdom Come Deliverance. The combat looks really, really great. And especially if they're going to continue with this franchise and let this franchise live on for years and years and years. They tease like the modern day aspect, like just to show you how far that they're gonna move with this franchise. Like I'm so unbelievably excited, and Ion Storm in chat knows. Him and I are huge fans of Vampire the Masquerade series. Man, they nailed the aesthetic and tone of Bloodlines 2. The music was really great. The tone was really great. It was not an RPG. It was, man, the performance on consoles was horrible. It was horrible, man. I pushed through that game as much as I possibly could. But this game, it's going to transcend the fantasy aspect of it, and will eventually move into the modern day, is essentially what they're teasing with Dawnwalker, which is why I'm so excited, because Blood of the Dawnwalker, dude, I lost my mind, because when they first showed this dude sitting, I was like, that looks like the dude from Dawn. Oh my God, it literally is Cohen from Dawn. What the fuck are we doing? And so they teased like this whole, like, they're like, let us just give you an idea of how serious we are about the longevity of this franchise. And just moving Cohen forward through time. And so from what they have said, that like the Blood of the Dawnwalker is the prequel to this whole new franchise. And that got me really excited. So I'm way more excited for Dawnwalker than I am The Witcher 4 for a lot of reasons, which is another reason why I'm getting back into The Witcher 3, because I'm trying to change my own mind. My issues with The Witcher 4 moving straight into Ciri comes directly off the thought that we have had so many years away from The Witcher in general. We should have gotten The Witcher 4 with Geralt first and then moved on to Ciri. That's just my opinion, because The Witcher 3 and The Witcher in general is Geralt. And if we had gotten The Witcher 4, let's say 5 or 6 years after The Witcher 3, I would have been totally fine with a Ciri spinoff. If The Witcher 4 was, let's say, 5 years after The Witcher 3, Ciri, great, let's go. And then, because then we know Geralt's coming back for that, you know what I mean? So now we're going to be 13 years removed. Anyway, I say all that to say, I'm really excited for Dawnwalker. Are you excited for it? Because I haven't talked to you about this too much lately.
The combat, to me, I will say, the combat, when I saw it last, I was like, ooh.
Yeah. Last time, yeah, I'm with you. I was like, oh, it looks like clunkers.
Yeah, it looked a little clunky.
Yeah.
But it could be, like, I thought that, for example, Hogwarts Legacy's combat looked cool, but looked a little bit rough when I saw that as well. And then it turned out to actually be really fun and difficult, too. So, Dawnwalker could really surprise. And it also could have clunky combat, but the rest of the game just works. So you go, okay, I gotta fight some guys, I'll get to it, right? I was able to stomach The Witcher 1. And that one is rough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not talking about, like, years ago. I probably beat The Witcher 1 maybe 2 years ago. So, like, recently-ish, right?
Same.
Not
me and you both,
not
remember?
When I was like, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were doing it around the same
Not
time,
when I was
kind
a kid, and every game was good.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So I could stomach Dawn. I also did Knights of the Old Republic was a bit hard to get through, but I did that.
Yeah.
One. So anyway, I could stomach Dawnwalker if everything else around it is good. It is one that I will wait for reviews, to be honest. And if everyone comes out and they're like, this is incredible, then I'll see what I'm playing at the moment. If I'm still diving into, when does that come out?
August. Sorry, I have a list. September 12. Let me see. September 3rd. September 3rd comes out. Okay, so it comes out.
I'll be
a week after Zero Company, and then oh man, it's so much. It's so much.
So I'll be locked into Zero Company. I gotta be honest. Like, Zero Company has me a little bit more excited than Dawnwalker. But
are we gonna play Galactic Racer?
Galactic Racer?
Galactic, dude. I have Invisalign. Okay, fuck you. I can't speak sometimes. My tongue will get. My tongue will get caught underneath my teeth, and I'm like, it's fantastic. Galactic Racial. Oh my god! I used to go through this Wendy's drive-through every single day. It was like about 10 years ago. I had this job, so I had this ritual where I would go. See, there it goes again. Had this ritual where I would go to Wendy's to get a salad. It's whenever they had the Mediterranean salad, but I didn't like the dressing. I liked Caesar dressing from Wendy's. So I would go there every day on my 3 days off that I had at the job that I was currently working at. And there was this very nice gentleman, very large, nice young gentleman, who got so used to me coming to the Wendy's that he just knew what I wanted. So he would, and he had a bit of a speech impediment. And so I would pull up to the drive-thru and I'd say, "Hey, can I just get the Mediterranean salad, but with," and he would cut me off and go, "Oh, Caesar dressing?" And I go, "Yep, with Caesar dressing." He's like, "All right, go ahead and pull it around." And he would give me like 10 packets. He's like, "Here's your Caesar dressing." So he was the nicest guy. He would load me up with Caesar dressing. That didn't sound right. Pause. But I would have these packets of Caesar dressing in my fridge. It was ridiculous. Just load me down the Caesar dressing. Anyway.
I can't say that I've ever been loaded up with Caesar dressing myself, but I will say to each their own.
Come on down to West Virginia. We'll show you.
And you can get all the Caesar dressing you want.
Yeah.
Right down at the Wendy's, behind the back.
Right behind the dumpster and behind the KFC.
Only after midnight, though.
God. A shout out to Aero Nation, who says he's going to be streaming Deus Ex tomorrow. Are you Human Revolution? Because you need to start with that one. He's going to be like, "Whoops, wrong game." That's awesome, though.
Speaking of, I still have to get to 007 as well.
Yeah, 007 was really great. I was not shitting on it when I was saying I don't want to return to it. It was just a very good video game. It's not Hitman at all. It's just not Hitman whatsoever. I'm actually glad that IO Interactive went the direction that they did with Hitman or with 007, because I was expecting it to be like this super like replayable sim type game like Hitman was, and it's not. It's just a really great 007 game. Jonah says, "Almost heaven, Caesar dressing." Oh my god, that's great. Start with it. Okay, anyway, we're getting off topic.
Get that bread the fuck out of my salad.
Zero Coke and straw with it, please. I need some dressing. I'm begging on my knees. Take me home. Okay. Anyway, Dawn Walker, you're excited for it? Looks good.
Dawn Walker looks good.
All right. Let's move on. This is great. We don't have to do a podcast anymore. It's wonderful. There we go. Next scene, I go, "Oh, DeMarco, what are we?" I do want to talk to you about the Steam machine because American Fury, pause. So the Steam machine revealed its prices, and if I can bring it up, let me see if I can bring up the prices. Let me see here. I know it was all over. I know it made me. I threw up everywhere. Let's see if I can bring it up here. Let's see. Steam machine prices. So Valve finally released the specs for Steam Machine. We have it's all over 1,000. So 1,050 for a 512 gigabyte. Then you have the 1,128 version.
What the
right?
fuck, Richard?
Exactly. Which actually includes the Steam controller. Wow. So you can play the thing. Imagine, so dumb. Then the 2 terabyte, which is $230 more. 1,350. Then you have the same thing again that includes the controller for an extra $75 or whatever. Now, the conversation that I wanted to have with you as a PC guy, the console market, because everyone knows that these consoles are going to be near $1,000 anyway. The next Helix is going to be, I think the Helix is going to be 1,000. That's just me. I think the Helix is going to be at least 850 to 900 with like a $1,000 version. That's everything that I just mentioned with the whatever.
Right.
And I saw a lot of people freaking out about the Steam machine and the pricing. And Holly, actually, that blue number, put out like a viral tweet. She got like 3 million impressions on her tweet. She got like 8,000 likes about her. She was saying like, why don't you just get the base version and then get an Xbox controller? And here are my thoughts and whatnot. And that blew up. So good for her. But I think in today's market, like, your PC, I don't know how much your PC costs. My PC cost around, everything is said and done with the keyboard and the mouse and the cords and all the parts, it was like around $2,500. And I have a 4070 Super with like 4 terabytes and 64 gigs of RAM that you love, stuff like that. Now, I say all that to say it's $2,500, but there are builds of PC. In Holly's tweet, she was saying like you can literally build this for under $1,000, nearly under $1,000, and have a controller and have way more storage. But for me, whenever I look at the accessibility of something that's console-like, that has the capabilities of a PC, that is really what people are paying for. So I'm not defending it either way. I don't know if is it overpriced. What do you think? What do you think, man, about the Steam console? I think it's strange. I think it's a way to get people into the ecosystem. That's what I think.
It's too. Jonas stole my answer. It's too expensive for like if you're trying to capture the PC market, it's very fair. Because yes, you could look around and you could try to find prices and get a similar deal, but and you could probably find it a little bit cheaper if you bought things second hand and stuff like that. So there are ways, if you're trying to build your own PC, that you could do it and navigate that. So it's very, very fair actually. But if I'm not the consumer that they're trying to target with this product because I already have a PC, or I'm ready to spend amounts of money to get a better performing system, right? Which means I'm willing to spend $2,000, $2,500 to get whatever the most high-end gear is, and to preserve myself for future to come sometime. Like, people say there's no such thing as future-proofing, which is true to an extent. I half agree with it. Not true in the sense, or true in the sense that it'll last me longer than if I bought a 2080 right now, right, or a 3080 right now, right, which is what's in the Steam machine, I believe. So, if I'm not in their market, and anyone who's willing to buy a PC or pay PC prices is not going to be interested in this machine because they can get much better hardware. Anyone who's playing on a console is not going to buy into this because it's too high of a cost of entry. Now, is the Steam machine going to sell out? 100%. I don't think someone said it's dead on arrival. I do not think at all that it's 3060, not 3080. I don't think at all that this is going to have problem moving units. I think it's going to do really, really well. You saw that with anything that Valve releases, whether it was the Steam VR or the Steam controller itself, the Steam Deck, now the Steam machine, right? They've all sold out.
And not to cut you off, but just to add on to what you're saying, that they're not subsidizing anymore. So this price point is them creating it for exactly for what it's worth, rather than selling it at a loss. That is what they said today on Twitter.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, I don't know how much I believe that, to be honest. Like, for what it's worth, they're selling it.
You don't believe big companies?
No, I don't. It's crazy.
Trust
It's
them.
Trust
them.
they want
is for you to be happy.
Hold on. I got my Kool-Aid right here. Hold on, let me just... Oh, yeah, Valve would never lie to me.
There you go. You got a good big drink. Let me drink mine too. Let me drink. Oh, Gabe. Anything. You know what, Gabe? He can do whatever he wants. Okay, go ahead.
So it's not going to reach the high-end PC market, like I would say I roughly fall into. It's not going to reach the console market. So then it becomes, who's this really for? and that's where it'll
Yeah.
have a hard time. So I
Uh,
it
Fuzzy
is
tomato.
good for anybody who wants to dip their toe into PC gaming.
Right. Yeah,
I
exactly.
think that there's value there. If someone's been saying like, take Assassin. Assassin's like, I'm not buying a PC. I'm sticking on console. That's the only thing I'm ever gonna do. Bah! And
Right.
raging for days about it, and crying and pooping and peeing. And
He does that.
he does do that. Just kidding. But it takes like unironically, like Assassin is a great example, right? He's very loyal to the consoles and to that hardware. But if he's ever thought about the possibility of diving into PC, like this is a great entry point for him to turn around and say, "Hey, I'm starting to build up a library on Steam. I actually like that I'm getting really good performance on this system, and that I do have access to mods and all the benefits that a PC does come with." Especially because you can sort of run your own OS on it if you really wanted to, and you could, do whatever changes you want to the Steam machine in that sense, while it's still plug and play if you want it to be. So good entry
Right,
point, but I don't.
Yes, and to your point,
missing the
like
mark.
for people like Assassin, and even people like me, like even though I have a PC and I love my PC, I would say that someone like it. Let's just use Assassin as the template for the consumer base that they might be looking for. They're not necessarily more console. What was the word that you used? Loyal. They're more accessible, loyal to accessibility. They don't want to fool around with tinkering and whatnot. This is more. I would say that the Steam machine is more focused towards the accessibility people, more like I just want to plug and play. That's it. And that is where for me that is where it's the price point for me is worth it. Especially if Jonas was saying this is equivalent to a 3060.
Yes.
Is that what they said? Dude, that's amazing. I mean, really, I don't know. That's a really good price for $1,000 for a 3060. I don't know. I have a 4070.
Well, let's put this into perspective, though, right? Is if you wanted to buy the latest end hardware, I'm looking just on Amazon right now for an RTX 5080. Right. Much more powerful. Much more powerful. That would rack me $1,200.
Okay.
13,
is that a full
13,
build?
1500. No, that's just for
that's
the
the
graphics
card. Okay, that's what I was like. Wait. Things have changed.
That would cost
okay.
me roughly. That would cost me $1,300 to $1,500 to get that.
Right, just the card, chat.
Just the graphics card. Now,
yeah.
Here's the deal, though. Right, is I already have all the hardware right here. So the next time I upgrade my PC, it's probably just going to be the graphics card. Even to get the most powerful, most recent, not even the most powerful technically, but the more recent graphics card, it would cost me more than the Steam machine for one part to upgrade my computer.
Right.
That doesn't include if I wanted to buy, hey, actually, I think I only have 32 gigabytes of RAM. I want to bump that up to 64. We know memory has hit skyrocketing prices lately, right?
Yep.
Thank you, AI. So
yep.
Now we're talking the difference between a 3060 and a 5080, which are leagues apart from one another. Out of curiosity, what is a 3060 going for right now? If I just on Amazon. Okay, so on Amazon, a 3060 at the moment is going for anywhere from $200 to $500.
Okay. That's something. I think I bought my 4070 Super, it was almost 4 years ago now, and it was like 800. I think. Something like that. So, which now it's probably like 1100. So, yeah.
So my point I think ultimately what it comes down to is anybody who's wanted to try PC, there's still affordable, accessible ways you could go into it. You can get a more powerful system at about or slightly more than that cost, and then you also have something that's more upgradable than the Steam machine is.
Right. And I see some people talk.
No real reason for it to exist, in my opinion.
And Jonas says you got to look at the follow-up effects of in the wider industry as a standardized metric of performance. It will help push for better optimization from devs in order to get that check mark from Steam, which is a really great point. Because I know a lot of people were talking about like obviously, whenever you, as you know, as all you PC guys know, whenever you load up a game, on a PC, it will just, for the most part, it will. Sorry, I'm having a hard time thinking right now. It will give you the recommended settings automatically based on your specs of your hardware. Like for me and DeMarco and everyone else, I'm sure the majority of the time it goes straight to high or ultra or whatever. And a lot of times you're like, I don't need all that. I don't need all that. But optimization has been an issue in the industry for a long time. If you look at things like the Xbox Series S, people are like, for whatever reason, the Xbox Series X is the hardest thing, or the S, hardest thing to develop for. So to Jonas's point, if he's saying that it'll help push a better optimization from devs in order to get that check mark from Steam, I don't know. I feel like that would be a negative thing. I don't know. But what is the standard for games now, especially on Steam? Like, because now we're moving away from the big PlayStation isn't doing PC releases anymore. So we don't need to have like the super intensive PC specs recommendations from I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time with my words. I feel like I'm dying. It's like you need 174 gigabytes and a 5090 to run this game. The majority of Steam-based exclusives.
Turtle bytes.
Turtle bytes, right? Exactly. Yeah. So, but yeah, to your point, I think it. Shout out to 4XP Gaming, as I'm losing consciousness as I'm trying to do the show. Shout out to 4XP. It says, oh, sorry, they're talking to Ion Storm, but shout out to 4XP. Go check out 4XP at 4xp.com. They have great. Do you guys have sugar-free stuff yet? I would literally stop everything and buy a subscription right now. I need sugar-free because it kills me. Like, it sends me into a frenzy of death. Not 4XP. 4XP was amazing, and I felt like I was like on cloud 9. I had the most energy and the most productive I was ever in my life whenever I was drinking 4XP. But I need sugar free. But shout out to Mike and all those guys. He says, "We hear you." That's what Asha Sharma said. She said, "We hear." She said, "We hear you." No, I'm kidding. That's awesome though. I'm excited. Thank you for being here, by the way. I really appreciate it. Totally getting off track here, but I guess I would just say that Steam Machine, my gut instinct whenever I saw the price, I was like, no shit, it's gonna be over 1,000. I think it was the memory thing that got everyone, because 500 gigabytes is like 7 games nowadays, especially if you're playing things like Crimson Desert or Jedi Survivor, which is 120 gigs or something ridiculous. Yeah, I think that is he said Asha and I are both liars. I love it. No, you and her weren't wrong. You both hear me. You heard me. Just kidding. Mike, I would love to get you on here sometime, by the way. I'll have to DM you. Anyway, yeah, chat, what do you guys think about the PC? Will you guys be getting a Steam Deck or a Steam Machine? We just need to end the show. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. My brain's not working. Jonah says, what people also forget when comparing it to consoles is the TC. What is that? What does that mean? Oh, total cost of ownership difference. We talked about saving money on access to other storefront sales, but there's also the cost of subscribing annually for online play on PlayStation. Oh, like just paying to play online, just like Xbox does too.
Yeah, like you don't need to do that with the Steam machine. So already you're paying, and also things too, like even the peripherals. PC Game Pass is cheaper than regular Game Pass subscriptions. So you save some money there. I don't know how much you need to pay to get Xbox Live, because it's not gold anymore, or PlayStation Plus, whatever those online memberships.
It's just essential. They keep changing the names, and it's such a mess. PlayStation.
Yeah, I don't know what it is anymore, but
yeah,
PlayStation Plus is simple enough, so you don't need to pay for that at all, which is a huge benefit because it saves you probably like what $120 a year or something like that
Well, let me ask you this: if you didn't have a PC, would you rather just buy a Steam machine? Like if you didn't have any way to play games, if you didn't have a PlayStation right now, if you didn't have a PC, and then this drops, you're like, oh, like is it enticing, or would you rather just say, I'd rather just buy an Xbox or a PlayStation because that's $750 and an Xbox is now $650, you know, whatever. PS Pro $750, you know, whatever. Would you rather go towards the console?
If to this day I still did not have a PC, I'd probably stick with a console because it was the hardest thing for me to switch when I came over to PC was losing my library. Now I could simply plug in my Xbox and I have access to all the games that I used to own, but am I realistically going to do that for my Xbox One because I never got a Series? And like, am I really going to do that for my Xbox One? Probably not. Right, I'm gonna end up rebuying a lot of those games, so that would be the hardest thing that was the hardest thing for me to do transition. If I still didn't have a PC, I'd probably stick to console. I would definitely wait to see what the console prices are, what Helix is gonna come out, and what the PlayStation 6 is gonna come out with, because that would ultimately be my biggest determining factor. However, if those barriers were aside, like if I wasn't concerned about the library, I probably still wouldn't go with the Steam machine, because if I was willing to make that commitment to jump to a more PC-like platform, I would most likely turn around and say, why don't I just get I'm the type of person that goes, if I'm going to spend that much money, I'm going to get the really good one. I am getting the best one. And that's what I did with this PC. At the time, the 4080 had just come out, and I was like, I'm getting it. Like, that's it. I'm getting the 4000 series card. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it correctly. This PC has been amazing. I don't regret it one bit. Was it expensive? Yes, very. Do I care now? Because I actually, looking at these 5080 prices, when they start coming down, I might pick one up when those prices start dropping. You know, if they hit like 1,000 or 900.
Right. And dude, my same thing with my PC. I spent because I had a bunch of friends sending me, just go ahead and just get the 3060 or whatever it was, and I'm like, no, I want to future proof myself. It's what word that I always use with my TV that I have right now. I have a Sony something, but I bought it before Red Dead 2 came out, so it was in 2018, early 2018. I bought it. I still have it, and it's an incredible TV. And it was $1,300. I saved up money every paycheck that I got with a job that I had at the time, because I didn't want to just go out and just buy a 4K TV, because at the time, Xbox One X finally had console capabilities capable of having 4K resolution on consoles. So that was big for me. And everyone's like, you can just run out and buy a 4K TV for $400. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. No. I still have the same TV that I have right now from 12 years ago or whatever. If you're going to spend money.
My TV at this point, it's not even a 4K. I think it's a 2K TV. But I've had it since 2016.
Right. And you never look back, and you haven't had to spend any more money on a TV. That's the whole thing. The majority of companies nowadays, especially in entertainment, especially in things like, you know, like dryers and washing machines or whatever, like they want things to break so that way you can come back to them and spend more money. Like, it's just how it works.
Buy me, please.
Yeah, so if there's a way to future-proof yourself and stop spending money, I think that's where we'll go. 4XP, I'll text you. Let's make it happen. Yeah, bro, let's make it happen. Love to get you on. Fuzzy Tomato, I think the storage thing is less of a problem because it won't play most of the biggest size games like COD, Madden 2K, etc. because the anti-cheat. But that's the thing, though. Like the casual gamer isn't even gonna see this. The casual gamers, they buy a PlayStation. That is it. They go straight to a PlayStation. And the people who are going to end up buying the Xbox Helix, they're also going to be the hardcore people. Like they're going to be the people like me that already own an Xbox. They give me a reason to upgrade from what I already have, because I'm happy with my Series X. I'm happy with my PC. Like, of course, you know, you have growing pains with screen tearing and all the stuff with PC, but you get over it, you figure it out, and it is what it is. But you figure it out.
You learn. You grow.
Yeah. So, anyway, Yeah, that's a Steam machine. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. I was just curious because I just been seeing it pop up all throughout the day, and I'm like, let's just all calm down. Anyway, all right. Well, it's time, DeMarco. It's time. It's been a great show. It's been a long time since you've been on, and it feels like we actually did a show. And I apologize for everyone in chat. I've been so, my brain is kind of fried, and it's just been a whole thing lately. Not to get into everything, but it's been a lot. And so next week I'll try to be more exciting, excitable, and happy and wonderful. Whatever. DeMarco, hey, woohoo! What do you got going on, man? What content do you have coming out on your channel? What content do you have coming out on too much weed, bro? no, sir. No, it's been a long time. Yes, thank you. There we go. Yeah, DeMarco, where can people find you, and what do you got going on?
Yes, exactly that. Later today. I don't have any content planned for the near future. At least right away. Do I miss it? Yeah. Do I miss dealing with some of the horrible comments? No way. Do I miss? But I don't have any content necessarily ready down the pipeline. But I will try to make myself more available to join in these shows because it is a lot of fun and it's great to see all of you in chat once more. Appreciate you guys all hanging out tonight. And yeah, if you want, Red just did ping my channel there. When we start, we'll see if the thing that'll probably get me back is talking a little bit, make some content. So, well, I got any content now.
It's the best way to get motivated.
I'll see if Elder Scrolls can kind of get me back into it. It is one of those things where you don't do it for a while and you sit down in front of the camera, for the first time after not recording, and you're just like, how do I do this?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could talk like a human being anymore.
Right.
And
yeah,
you gotta get back into the swing of it, and then once you
want
want
to do it.
Like once you do it, feels good.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls might bring me back there, to try to recapture some of my younger days when I was like,
how's it?
I was very goofy. How's it going, everybody? My name is DeMarco, and today we are talking about Elder Scrolls 6 and everything it needs to do for the wishlist series.
Yes.
That everybody always loves. And then, there you go. So, just do it! I actually, that's a great Shia LaBeouf. That's a really great speech.
It is a really great video. I mean, it's all about procrastination and just like everything that us as humans and content creators and creatives just deal with every single day. I'll get to it. No, you won't.
Shia LaBeouf.
You won't just get to it. If you're not doing it right now, you're never gonna do it. Just do it. Yeah, that was his whole thing. It was so good, so good. Shout out to Shia, friend of the show.
And then I'll be doing, like, my big thing too lately has been I've been seeing so many movies, so I'm excited for Supergirl. I just saw Toy Story 5, which was fun. I'm excited for The Odyssey. Lots of great films coming out too, and I'm spending some more time reading as well. So I got lots of books. Like, I want to read. I saw the movie for the fudge, the space movie that came out.
Hail Mary.
I'm like,
Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, Project Hail Mary. Yeah. And I want to read the book by Andy Weir.
I watched an interview with him recently. It was really good. Yeah.
So excited for. Oh, and you have the Batman Part 2 coming out. The next Superman movie coming out. There's Across the Spider-Verse is next year, or whatever the next Spider-Verse movies.
Have you watched Spider Noir? I haven't watched it yet. I've heard nothing but great things.
No, it's on my list. I've been watching Fargo, if you know that show.
Oh, with Ben Affleck? Or no, I'm thinking of Argo.
No, not Argo. Fargo.
I'm thinking of
Argo. It's based on. It's based on all like these crime syndicates happening in Minnesota, and it's super good stuff.
Okay.
Really, really great. And I've been diving. I watched the first season is phenomenal. I heard the second season's even better. So I'm on season 2. Been watching The Bear. So lots of consumption going on.
Love it. Love it. So basically, you're just enjoying life and you're steering away from toxicity that is the internet that is not existent and unimportant.
But we'll see. Like Elder Scrolls Elder Scrolls can probably bring me back.
Come back when you're ready to come back, when you're excited to do it and you're doing it for you. That is what I will say. That is what I will say. I'm in a different boat where I'm like, I need some meaning in my life. And this is all that I have creatively. Because I was in a band for years. I was in a lot of different creative avenues in my life for a long time. And now as I get older, it's gone. And this is all that I have. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Yeah, go ahead.
I also like I just like I've been doing things in real life too, which is really neat, which is I linked up like this local board gaming group with a local coffee shop that I just went into for the first time. It's kind of new, and I went in there and I was speaking to the owner there for like 35-40 minutes just about them creating the shop and what they went through, and this person had no idea how to do anything related to coffee, and they went from literally zero idea to owning their own store just because they wanted to prove that they could do it. And it's just an awesome story. And so I was like talking to them for probably 35-40 minutes, and then I linked them up with a local tabletop group near me to like start doing events there. And it was a super cool moment where I was like, I did this. They're going to do it. That was me. Like, so things in real life that have been making me very happy to be able to get some satisfaction. I don't know if that like maybe gives you a little bit of motivation
it's funny.
find...
Me and my wife, we went to there's a shop that opened up in the town that I grew up in, which obviously I live in a county. King Fan Man knows what county I live in. But in my county, there's lots of different things in this one county, and so I went to the town that I grew up in, and there was a shop that had just opened up there. I'd never heard of it, and there was this old man in there, and there's all these really cool things. It was like, $7 cheese and $6 coasters, but everything was like, you could just tell like they had been passionately working hard to build up their inventory for a long time. And he was talking about how I was like, how long have you guys been here? He's like, well, we've been in business for a little over 3 years. He sounded like Nick Nolte. He was like, well, we've been in business for over 3 years. And now it sounds like Yoda. That didn't even sound like Nick Nolte. 3 years we have been in business. But he was telling me about how they just keep pressing on. They've moved locations once every year. It's been 3 years, and they finally settled in, and they thought that they couldn't make it work. And he's like, and this is what we have now. And it's just like this beautiful shop, and like they're really successful. There was like a big line, and this is like one of those shops like you walk in and everything just smells of lavender and cinnamon, and you're like, yeah, this is like, you know what I mean? Like the old, like everything nice. Yes, exactly. Like everything, like there's literally everything in this shop other than video games and the stuff that you and I like us nerd stuff that we latch onto every day. There's more to life, I guess, is what I'm saying. So yeah, it is really inspiring to talk to people who are still trying to make it creatively with whatever it might be. But yeah, it's great. It's great. But yeah, come back whenever you're ready. I look forward to it. As far as I go, but yeah, DeMarco's links are in the description. His Twitter, his YouTube channel, which I just linked here. I'll pin it that way. Shout out to King Fan Man. Who's a big supporter. He just hit 23,000
with content lady.
It's crazy, man. He just hit 23,000 subscribers.
Really
and he absolutely deserves more. He's one of those channels. He's got such a great community. Like every time I'm on his show, like I see the chat, I'm like, God, you guys are so supportive and so nice. It's great. But yeah, and see, Jonah says, when in business for 900 years, you have not as rich you will be. Yes, it's true. 4XP is on sale for Prime Day. Go get a good deal. There you go. Go check out 4XP. It's on Amazon. I know that for sure. It's on Amazon. And on 4xp.com, obviously. See this? I can do ad reads. I can do it. Kung Fu Hot Dog. See you, Wolfie, or Sexy Wolfie, as he calls me, just hanging out with Tasha from Ace Combat. Yeah. Go check out Kung Fu Hot Dog. He's an absolute psychopath, and I love him. He's so funny. Kung Fu Hot Dog is so funny, man. He's a gem. Anyway, all right, guys. Yeah, check me out on Twitter if you haven't already. Follow me there. The link in the description. I'll have some videos out soon. Hopefully about something. I have no idea. Whatever. It's good to be back with you, DeMarco. That was really the big thing. So we'll have DeMarco here for a little while he's able, and then we'll get back to guesting and whatnot. So we're just playing it by ear. It's great. Wait. There we go. Just like old times. Wait. There we go. I love it. It feels like I'm okay. Perfect. Anyway, everyone who's not watching is like, what the fuck is happening? Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to hit the like button, like and subscribe, and like it the least, sub it the most, whatever the fuck. I don't care. Who cares? Whatever. Nick Nolte. Yeah. See you guys next time. Goodbye.
Whoa.
There we go. Oh, that's good. I think it's cut off at the end. He's like, "Is it?" That's my favorite combination now. running to the bathroom. Oh. All right, everyone chat's like, we can hear you. All right.